Being job ready means having the necessary skills, knowledge, and mindset to perform effectively in a specific role or industry. When you're job ready, when they ask you, okay, are you willing to do this job? You're saying yes, like you're job ready, not just technical skill wise, but culture wise and every single thing that encompasses the job. So you're going to be job ready, and it means yes, I'm good to go. So
Sure, I'll be very happy to answer this. So, one of the things that I really found valuable about my experience with Dot Campus was when I was working on some of the projects. Well, yeah, some of the projects like Dot Campus projects. I remember I was building this Petly app. So the way that the challenges are structured, you have to write your code obviously, and then you have to push your changes to GitHub, create a pull request, and then your code will be reviewed. So that experience of just learning how teams collaborate in real life using GitHub, like PR and code reviews, that was something that I didn't really learn from like online tutorials, Udemy. Nobody really teaches you that kind of stuff. So when I started my first full-time role, it wasn't something that I had to learn. I was already used to it. I was already exposed to it. I already knew like how to work with GitHub and all. So that was a really good experience that I had that really prepared me. Yeah.
Specific role requires specific technical skills. Right. So I would just say that for you to really excel in whatever aspect of technical profession you want to dive into, it just makes sense that you actually know the basics first, because it's really, really important. Because I mean, what do you want to do in a tech space without having the basics? So I'm answering this in a very generic way because I don't want to box anybody. So for instance, if you are looking to be like a React front-end developer, I mean, React is something that you should know, right? Like you should know it in and out. So for the soft skills, well, I mean, I think communication and a bit of networking goes a long way for soft skills. It's very important. The kind of people you have in your space would actually go a long way. I hope I was able to answer
that. So I would say, like, from my experience, like, recruiting for roles, I haven't recruited for a lot of data analysts, but I do know, like, with the current trends, is like, something a lot of people are learning and getting into. But something else I've also noticed is people who are recruiting for, or like people who look for software engineers that have like data skills or like know how to deal with data. I find that is like a lot more like common than just core data analysis. And so I would say it's not, I don't think there's enough demand for data analysts as compared to like core software engineering roles. That doesn't mean that there's no demand at all. It just means that the market is smaller for data analysts, and so of course the competition would be fiercer there. But from what I've observed and like roles I've worked with, there's more demand for software engineers as opposed to data analysts, both in the Nigerian market and remote, like abroad as well.
Thank you very much.
I don't think we should really be afraid of the outcome of this, and that's because artificial intelligence cannot really do everything. To be very honest, they try, but they can't do anything. So if you've tried to use Chat GPT, just for instance, to do like a rephrase or to reward something, a lot of times you realize that they are not passing the message you really want them to pass. So I feel like people, both internationally and locally, should still try as much as possible to develop their skills, sharpen it as much as possible, irrespective of what we think about the artificial intelligence. Because I feel like we still need people at the back end to make these things work. So yes, some people might lose their jobs, new opportunities, but it won't still be total.
There's no need to be scared. AI is not taking your jobs. You just need to adjust to and learn what it is that the AI is actually doing and try to align yourself in that way.
So basically, during my job search, so I joined communities just like Dot Campus, and I was also in other communities too. And then we share like job searches, we share jobs about like opening roles, and then we get to apply and this. And so we advise that you join communities and try to be involved. I also advise that you also need to pay attention to your LinkedIn profile, because I see that some people that they are searching for job and everything, their LinkedIn profile is not actually very strong, because recruiters also use LinkedIn. There's a tool called like Sales Navigator or Talent on LinkedIn that recruiters use to search for leads. That's like leads, we call them leads, or they search for just qualified people. So if you can add keywords, you can add more information about what you do on your LinkedIn profile, I feel you can get noticed and you can be at the top of the relevant searches. That's recruiters see. So and beyond technical skills, you learn. So that's basically what I can say.
I would say that your LinkedIn profile at the moment should be like your first selling point. So before I would even ask you for your CV, I want to see your profile. I want to see what you've done. Tell me something that is catching you about. So it is something that we really need to look into. We need to actually pay attention to what we put outside professionally. It goes a long way.
But to like directly answer the question, I would say like how people can leverage, LinkedIn, for example, to like, enhance their brand would be there's like this concept of learning in public. I know a couple of people here like entry level. Like the whole concept of learning in public is, you're sharing what you're learning as you are learning, as opposed to like, when it's full-fledged. And what that does for you is just sort of helps you to build your personal brand. So I would say embrace learning in public. That's like posting your progress, posting what you're doing. It doesn't have to be like the finished product, right? But like the progress also matters, right? And that sort of like starts putting you out there. You also need to like, connect with people, because the more connections you have, the, higher visibility that you get. And with connecting with people, I would say personalize it. Maybe first off, you start with engaging with the person's content. And then when you send a connection request, you can just add a short. We found that people who had like, a short note in the connection request, it makes it easier for, they have like higher chances of being, responded to or like accepted, right? So add a short note, engage with like people's content. You can repost stuff, you can, comment on things, but that sort of like just makes you visible to like potential employers, because even if you're not posting a lot, they see the content you're engaging with and they say, oh, this person is probably interested in these type of things, and it sort of like just all comes together to be like that professional brand of yours. So I would say I think summarily, learn in public, so publish stuff, engage with people online, and like expand your network, reach out to people cold. It's fine, it's LinkedIn. I think everybody kind of expects you will get some responses and you will get people who will just ghost you, and that's fine. still reach out regardless, expand your network, get to meet people. A good way to like also expand your network is like reaching out, asking for advice, especially if you're starting out. That way you get to learn more things about the industry you're in. You get to learn about job opportunities that are probably not, out there. And then these people you're speaking to also get to know you on a personal basis because they've given you advice. So they sort of like need to get to know you a little bit before they can give you advice. And that can be helpful, especially if you're like looking for jobs, because they'll be like, oh, I remember talking to this person who was interested in certain things. And they can connect you to the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mary. See, I'm going to say the truth. Not until recently, I was always scared of reaching out to people on LinkedIn because I just have this mindset that they're going to reject you. So why you just overdoing yourself? But you know what they say about once you don't try, you're already failing. So I think reaching out should be one of the things that we should get to learn about. Try to reach out, and you don't reach out anyhow. Because if you reach out anyhow, I don't know the kind of response that you get.
The most challenging part was actually communication. Yeah, so I noticed that when I transitioned, I required a lot of communication, and when you work with a team, you get to communicate a lot, and you get to this thing. So I noticed that it is really, really very important. And so what I did was I actually discovered and I noticed that okay, I'm lacking in this soft skill. So what I did was I tried to like go back and learn and practice it again. And so basically that's the most challenging thing I faced. Transitioning.
For me, one really challenging thing was imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome hits me really, really hard. I've heard someone talk about it and I can really relate to it. The first few weeks of my first job, I was really scared that they were going to realize that they made a mistake hiring me. This girl doesn't know what she's doing, and we should just let her go, right? But the thing is, imposter syndrome, you can let it cripple you, and it's gonna happen to you, and it happens to so many other people. So like, it's okay if you're feeling it, and you can let it cripple you, or you can let it fuel you to work hard. Or you don't know a lot about this thing, or you're inexperienced in this area. That's fine. Learn. Look it up on YouTube, or read documentation, and then ask people. If I was just more open, like what Toby said, to just communicate and say, oh, I don't know this thing, could you help me? I would have really not wasted my time and wasted my teammates' time trying to prove that I know this thing when I don't. So just ask questions. It's okay if you come up as inexperienced or like you don't know what you're doing. It's fine. You will learn, you will grow, and things will get better.
So I was told that, imposter syndrome will come, but once you have it at the back of your mind that if you were not good enough, you will not be hired. Like you wouldn't have been in that position. If you were not good enough, another candidate would have taken that place. So imposter is not what should kill you in your new job, your current job.
So I think the first thing to do is to learn, understand the foundation, the basics of what it means or what it entails to be a data analyst. And then don't be in a hurry to make money. It's very important because I feel like that's something that our generation is a bit particular about money instead of learning. So I think that for someone who's aspiring, I really do not know a lot about data analysis because it's not a role that I'm familiar with. But I think that it just makes sense that you learn first. Then after learning, you can look into things like mentorship, free internship or volunteer jobs, so that you just sharpen your skills the more.
I think first is to focus on learning and learning as much as you can. And then I think the only other thing I'll add is maybe also expanding your network and finding people who are in that space, who are senior in the space, who could sort of like maybe serve as mentors or guides or give you like some form of support as you learn. And they can also give pointers as to how, they started off in getting, job opportunities and how you could go about it. So at the core of it, I'd say learning and then also networking, just so that you're also, aside like what you're learning from the course you're doing, you're also learning from the experience of people in that field so that you're better suited to explore opportunities there.
You have no business telling us about your age. We don't need to know that. Please take it out if you have it. We don't want to know about your hobbies. This is work. Let's keep it that way. Tell us about the things that you've done, your achievements over time. And if you're also very new to a particular, maybe you just left school, I feel like while you were in school, you should have done one or two things, even if it was just a group of how were you able to own up to task, because nobody wants to hire anybody they will micromanage. So we're looking out for people who not only know the skills, but are also able to take responsibility or take charge. So please take out your personal skills. Then another thing that might be an issue is your specific location. So for instance, if you are say in Ikeja, it just makes sense for you. So this is not it's not like it's one size fits all, but it's just something I think I personally look out for. Don't put it there that you're in Ikeja, just say Lagos. And that's because I might be recruiting for a client on the island, and they want somebody on the island, and you have a family member that you can actually stay with if you get this role. So the moment I see Ikeja, I'm already like, oh no, distance. It's already a no without checking your skill set. The location is already a no because the job description specifically says island. But if you just put Lagos and I reach out to you, then at that point you can now go on to say that if we even get to have that conversation to say, oh, currently I'm at XYZ, but then I have somebody somewhere else that I can stay. So yeah, I think those are the few things I have noted so far.
I think I like to liken getting a job getting a job with finding a, let's say, husband or wife, right? So you know how girls have criteria of how they have spec. I think everybody has spec somehow, but you know how there's like a spec of, oh, he should be tall, he should be this, he should be that, and all of that. It's kind of like similar here because you have the job description. The job description has said, oh, I want somebody who can do this, who can do that, who is this, who is that, right? And so what you're doing with your resume essentially is saying, here I am, see me, I'm the perfect person, or I'm your spec, I'm who you are looking for, right? And so once you start to view your resume like that, it sort of like changes the way you create it, or the way, or like the information you put inside. Because again, you don't want to put information that will make someone says, oh no, you're not my type. You want to put information that says, oh yes, I'm the person you are looking for. And so that would be reflected in your experiences. So in the job description, I said, okay, maybe I'm looking for someone who is skilled in, say, Node.js. And so even if you don't have like if you're entry level and you don't have like direct job experience yet, there are projects you've probably worked on when you were learning, right? So include the projects, include the tech stack you used to work, so that when I see it, I know that, okay, this person has the skill set I'm looking for. I say maybe in the job description, or when this person comes, these are the responsibilities. How you now showcase how you sort of done something similar where you are, to sort of show that, okay, I've done something like this where I'm coming from, right? So say maybe say they're looking for a good leader and the rest. In your experience, you say, oh, I've maybe led a team or 2 or 3, or I've mentored some junior colleagues, or I've worked in a team. All those details show that you are the person they are looking for. So I always like to liken it to that, so that when you're writing your resume, you sort of are writing it from a point of view that you are marketing yourself. It is a marketing it's a marketing document. You're saying, give me a chance, I'm worth speaking to. And so what you write there should show that from the job description, you are who they should speak to. And then that is like your foot in the door. So your resume is like your foot in the door. And then when you now get there, you now do, the extra selling through interviews and the rest. So while there are lots of templates out there, honestly, there are lots of templates. But like if you go into it with this mindset, you sort of like are able to read through what you said. So it's kind of like what Adetitu says. You've done research about the company. You see the company is based on the island, right? So they would probably, is a physical role, they want somebody on the island. And so to make yourself especially, and if you have somebody like she said who lives on the island, you put the island address. I think the very first job I got, I was in Mina, but the job was in Lagos. I have uncles in Lagos. I use Lagos, Nigeria in my resume. And when they call me and they're like, oh, come for interview, I was like, I think they said come for interview the next day. I was like, oh, I traveled out of Lagos for a bit. I'm not in Lagos right now. Can we do Monday? And that weekend I was in Lagos and I got the job. So it wasn't lying because I can be in Lagos, right? So I didn't limit myself. If someone had seen my resume and seen me now, they'd be like, oh no, this girl she's not a fit, right? But I had the other qualification. So if you go in with the mindset of you're selling yourself to this person to say, oh, I'm the best person that fits the job description that, you have put out there, then it makes it easier to know, what information to put, what information not to put, and all of that.
Yeah, so it's a general method of searching for developers, and recruiters, they actually pay a lot of money to have access to the tool. It's a separate tool from LinkedIn, but then having a premium on your profile does not really guarantee that you get like on top of the search results. So basically, it is what LinkedIn know about you that gets you on top of the search result. So basically, LinkedIn Premium just brings you closer to jobs and not recruiters. So recruiters search for you based on what you put on your profile, what LinkedIn knows about you. So that's why I said build your profile, so then LinkedIn can know more about you and can be able to bring you at the top of the search results. Yeah, so it's not about having a premium. So if you can have premium, then it means that you can get jobs faster, and yeah, but maybe not. Listen, so that's all I know about that.
So it's a tool that recruiters pay for, right? And I would use, say, an application support role, right? So if you are into application support, or you're an application support manager or engineer, and you have that stated clearly in your LinkedIn, when I'm searching for an application support engineer on LinkedIn and I'm using the sales recruiter, once I type application support, so it brings everybody that has those keywords. It just brings their profile. Then I would now have to check one after the other to see if you meet those specifications that I have for that role, or based on the client's specification of the ideal candidate that they have. So it is general. So it still goes back to building your LinkedIn profile. What you have is basically garbage in, garbage out. So what you have on your profile is what LinkedIn will recommend. So it's more like a recommendation platform to say, okay, this person has what you're most likely looking for, but it's still on me to dig deep to see if you are still a good fit or not. So it's not really about having your profile as premium or not. It's just you set up your profile, you optimize your profile, and when I need to search, I search and then it brings it out to me. That's it.
Because I use Sales Navigator where I work, and it's more of just like an advanced search tool, right? Where I can search people based on their job titles, I can search them based on their location, the keywords they have, how many years experience they have, or how many years they spent in a particular company. I can also search based on the company they are. So I can also do that on normal LinkedIn.com, but it's quite limiting. The number of, or the amount of filters I can use for my search is limiting. So where Sales Navigator comes in, it just helps to broaden my search. But like Adetutu said, I'll still go through the profiles, the LinkedIn profiles, to like see if the person is a fit, right? But I know like why some people do LinkedIn Premium, like Toby said, is like, access to jobs. And you also get like emails. So what that means is you're sending like people, you can do like more personalized long form emails to people you want to network with. I know some people say like, they've gotten value out of that. But if you can shorten it in a normal connection request, I don't think there's need to like sign up for that. So yeah, and essentially what I'm searching for in your profile with Sales Navigator is probably maybe your job title, the keywords based off what I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for maybe someone with JavaScript, I'll probably search with the keyword JavaScript. And so the people who have that keyword on their profiles are the ones who show up And so those are the ones I would spend time reviewing, as opposed to like searching all the developers in Nigeria. That's going to be a lot of work. So what the tool just helps us do is, narrows the search down based on the parameters that we give it to make sure we're finding the right people.
Oh wow. I would like to say which of them is easiest for you to learn, and then check what is in demand. Check what is in demand for the role that you're applying for. And even in that data analytics space, just try to know what it is that they are using more. It means that you have done your research. If you have done a lot of research with respect to this role title, then you should know what tool is more important.
So just based on what I've noticed in job postings and what I've heard people ask for data analyst roles, I would say Power BI and Excel. Those two keep on popping up. Like I think they're really popular. And another thing is, if you have a particular company that you want to work for, right? You should look out for their job postings and see what technologies or tools or software come up, and then you can focus on learning those.
So I don't have an answer to the question because I'm not a data analyst. But I just wanted to say this is like a perfect question. This is like a perfect excuse to reach out to people who are skilled with a connection request that says, oh, I'm trying to transition into data analyst. Do you have any advice for me, or like maybe resources I should explore? That way you're expanding your network and you're getting, actual feedback from people in the field who know what's going on, who know what the trend is, and they are like in a more better position to say, oh, do this, don't do this.
Thank you very much, Babatunde. That's like using one stone to kill two birds. So you take this your question, look for somebody that's a data analyst that's experienced, and then you're connecting with them. You're also asking them. So you are achieving two in one.
I would say as much framework as you know. So as much as you probably are skilled in one framework, if you know another one, please by all means go to there. It's like a selling point for you. It's kind of like saying, oh, I'm going back to my analogy of what's girl specs. So it's like saying, oh, I want a guy who maybe works in a big company, right? And then the guy who works in a big company and even has a car. So it's like added advantage, or it's like more, how I put it now? It's just like an added advantage to you, as long as of course it aligns with what they are looking for. Then yeah, by all means. And with even startup land, with the way startup land is now, it's sort of like would like people who are sort of generalists, in the sense that while you might have like a major programming language or framework that you use, you have knowledge of other ones, so that should the need arise, you can easily adapt and use that to do whatever task you have to do.
So you obviously want to tailor your resume to every single job you're applying, and that's not a joke. I have so many different resumes for many different jobs, and sometimes what differentiates one from another is I just needed to add one extra word, like whatever you can see on the job description. You want to be sure that you have those frameworks on your resume for sure. And then if you want to showcase other things that then you can add another framework. But just make sure that whatever you're submitting for a job, it has everything on the job description that you have knowledge of. So, yeah. So you can have one resume, one framework, two frameworks, doesn't matter. I have so many on my resume, it's fine. Just make sure it's tailored to the job.
Please also do not lie. If you are not able to use any framework, please don't put it there because you are in need of a job, because it can be embarrassing when you're not able to perform.
Yeah, so framework is just there are tools that like help you develop software easier. So there are like front-end frameworks like React. So if you use something like framework, it makes the work easier, like the developing software and application easier. So that's like the basic understanding of framework.
So for me, I don't think if you're not actively seeking for a new opportunity, right, I don't really think you should pay for LinkedIn profile, except you are looking to meet more people that are a bit. Okay, so the way LinkedIn works sometimes is that you're not able to send like a proper message or reach some people if you're not in connection with them. But with and then if you're like while trying to send a connection, if you don't have a premium account, there's a limitation in terms of the number of words you can type. So I think it gives you about 150 words. And let's say you're trying to meet like somebody you are really looking up to be like a mentor, and you want to give like a proper or a detailed communication as to why you're trying to reach out to the person. With 150 words, you're not able to do that. But with premium, you are able to do, I think, about 300 words at first. Then you also have the opportunity to send email. So that's whether or not you are in connection with that person, you're able to send the person an email. So if you're not really job hunting, I think you can just make do with your current or normal LinkedIn package. It's not by force.
It's not by force. So yeah, it's not by force to pay for LinkedIn.
But you can also do the trial version and then take out your card if you don't see value for it. That's why there's a trial version.
That's another angle. Just learning. Imagine all the hustles and bustles of trying to get a job. How many jobs you have to apply for in a short period of time just to get one. And yeah, we're proud to say that they're actually part of the campus and now they are working. It's not been easy. But yeah, that's exactly why we're saying thank you to each and every one of them. Meanwhile, this is what we do at Dot Campus. If you do not already know, we offer skills for you to learn. Thing is, you need these skills if you're looking for skills for the future. There's more to come actually, but for now we offer data analysis, front-end engineering, back-end engineering, web application development. So you're not just learning, you're being paired with somebody in the industry. That's why we have mentorship program. You can visit our website, dotcampus.co, to learn more about what we offer. Yes, the core of our program is that you are connected to somebody that's experienced. Yeah, that's mentorship. But if you choose, because I can do guided learning, I'll be able to just learn on my own without that of mentorship. We still offer you the opportunity to meet with experienced people every week, so you get to ask questions where you're stuck in your learning. And the most interesting part of it is we conduct retro events, so you know how it is working in a team, and you need to understand what has happened in the past week. Yeah, we conduct retro events. I can say that it's a differentiator, because a retro event helps you to know what your progress is like and then what blockers that you are having. Yes, so it's going to be a wrap up. If you have anything you want to let us know, you can always visit our website, send us a message. We have contact information there, we have emails there, reach out to us. Thank you very much. All right, see you guys in our next webinar.